Multiple witnesses captured this on their phones. You can see AB on video advancing toward Nantambu on the...
Oh, bro, this ain't good. So he got beat up or he was so mad, you know what I'm saying, and the adrenaline was still in his head. They CTE kicking, blood pumping to his brain. It's really, you know what I'm saying, making the feeling even stronger. He must have lost the fight, bro. Cause like, how you just going, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you beat him up, there's nothing more to prove. He must have got, you know what I'm saying, hit a few too many times. That joint rattled his brain a little more. The CTE starts CTEing even more. You know what I'm saying? To the point where my mans had to go and grab the strap that's not even yours? Come on, cuz. This ain't a good move, man. Obviously, well, not so obviously, because my cuz, he can't think straight no more after all them tackles, right? Yeah, hello? Antonio Brown, from Super Bowl champion to attempted murder suspect. Video by microphone. Now, we have the CTE man himself. Antonio Brown, apparently, he's committed crimes. The worst crime, no less. Let's go ahead and see what happened, man.
Antonio Brown has been arrested on attempted murder charges. He is now in New Jersey waiting for extradition to Miami.
What do you think about it?
Cut in my state? That's bad, bro. Hopefully he don't come over here. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to use that new sound effect. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, definitely stay far, far away, gang. But then again, where he's going, it's looking like he won't see the light of day for a long time. That is, if he did it. You know what I'm saying? If they convict him of it, and we're gonna see if that looks very likely.
What is CT?
It's like brain damage, right?
I don't want to say you're brain damage. Do you think I got CT?
You know, every single time I make a video on Antonio Brown, I say the same thing over and over again. At this point, I'm willing to admit it's a blatant lie. Every time I say this is probably going to be the last video we make on Antonio Brown, he just keeps raising the bar in something absurd that he's doing that I can't help but cover. Antonio Brown is back in America, not by choice, not for a comeback. He was literally just extradited by U.S. Marshals from Dubai a few hours ago to face attempted murder charges. Yeah, the same guy who caught touchdown passes from Tom Brady in the Super Bowl is now in custody, being transferred from Newark, New Jersey back to Miami-Dade County, where he allegedly tried to shoot someone at a celebrity boxing event 6 months ago. We're gonna get into all of it: the shooting, the victim, the evidence, why he ran to Dubai, what this means for his future. But first, you need to understand just how far...
I didn't know he moved to Dubai, but I thought he just did that because he wanted to change of pace. But apparently he was running away, man. Let's see why.
Antonio Brown has fallen, because this story is about way more than just one bad night in Miami. This is about a complete and total collapse of one of the most talented players in NFL history.
Yeah, this is bad, bro.
Is probably going to get demonetized. To help us with monetization, this video is sponsored. You guys have been flooding my DMs about
W sponsor my dog.
Our hate rate on
W sponsor.
picks for sponsoring today's video.
Nope. I just got back in the sports betting. I don't want to see nothing about it. My parlays ain't been hitting, gang.
Mic check 1 2
Stop.
1 2. What's going on, everybody? Let's rewind for a second. Antonio Brown wasn't just good at football. He was generational. A 7-time Pro Bowler, a 4-time first-team All-Pro. He led the NFL in receptions twice, receiving yards twice, and touchdowns once. During his peak with the Pittsburgh Steelers from 2010 to 2018, this man was literally unstoppable. A 6th-round pick from Central Michigan who became one of the greatest receivers of the 2010s. He caught passes from Ben Roethlisberger, made the Pro Bowl basically every year, and was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. In 2019, he let the success go to his head, but in 2020, he got his redemption arc. Tom Brady personally recruited him to Tampa Bay, and AB helped the Bucs win the Super Bowl. It was supposed to be the comeback story, the troubled star finding his way back, but that's not how this story ends, because just months later, in January of 2022, everything fell apart in the most Antonio Brown way possible. In the middle of the game against the New York Jets, AB literally took off his jersey, his shoulder pads, threw his gloves into the crowd, and ran off the field shirtless while the game was still happening. Head coach Bruce Arians immediately said,
"He is no longer a Buck." That's the end of the story. Let's talk about the guys that went out there and won the game.
Career over.
Dang, what happened? Was he in the game and he got taken out and he was upset because of that? But then again, he's talking to the fans. Are the fans talking to him crazy or something? Like, what's going on? Is this an away game? I see it says Jets. I don't know if that's a football team. Clearly, I'm not tapped into football, right? But maybe he was at an away game and the crowd was being real crazy to him, so he just stormed off the field or stormed off the sideline because he wasn't in the game. And then coach said, yeah, fuck that nigga. He's done for. Oh yeah. Maybe it was something like that.
Age of 33, one of the best receivers in NFL history, ended his career by literally quitting mid-game. And you'd think that would be rock bottom, right? That was somehow just the beginning. AB's legal issues didn't start with attempted murder. They've been building for years. Back in 2020, he pleaded no contest to felony burglary with battery after allegedly assaulting a moving truck driver over a $4,000 dispute. He got 2 years probation, anger management classes, community service. Then in 2022, Tampa police issued a domestic violence warrant after he allegedly threw a shoe at his ex-fiancée and threatened to shoot her. Those charges eventually got dropped when the victim recanted, but the pattern was clear. By 2023, he was getting arrested for unpaid child support, owing over $30,000. Then came the bankruptcy filing.
Did nobody see any of these signs when Cuz was coming up? Like from 2010 to 2018, he had 8 good years of not letting the money get to his head. But that joint, it just went straight to him, cuz. It was bad. Tough. What changed that 2019 year? I would like to see that, because from there it was just all downhill. He just kept doing these things back to back to back. Unless he was like that all along, or maybe it is the CTE. Let's watch and find out.
Of 2024, this dude made over $80 million during his NFL career, and he declared bankruptcy, claiming just $50,000 in assets against almost $3 million in debts. We're talking about owing money to everyone. $1 million to the truck driver he assaulted, over $1 million to a celebrity jeweler for custom pieces he never returned, hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card debt. His life was complete financial chaos. But here's the thing about all those legal issues. They were still
Bro, I really hope that if I gain that much money, I'll never go broke. Never go broke, cuz. Because what am I looking like going back to how things was before? If things was bad, bro, I'll be damned if I go back. I'm just not doing it, bro. You just gotta move smarter with your money. I believe that I'm that type of person, bro, that I'm gonna still live the same for the most part. I might get like a new crib, new car, you know what I'm saying? But nothing else crazy. But after that, we investing, we saving our money, living below our you know what I'm saying, needs. Yeah, bro. So I don't even understand how people like that go bankrupt, bro. But then again, it makes sense because you feel like you have so much money in the world, you can spend an infinite amount of it. You know what I'm saying? Little do you know, your money is not actually as infinite as you thought. And that's a tough realization to come to, and you only come to it when you're flat broke. Yikes.
Realm of a troubled former athlete, assault charges, bankruptcy, child support drama. We've seen all of that before with other players. This next part is way different. May 16th, 2025, just before midnight in Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood, Aiden Ross is hosting a celebrity boxing event at a warehouse, one of those brand risk boxing cards that was blowing up on Kick and social media. Antonio Brown is there, probably trying to stay relevant in that influencer world. And that's when everything goes sideways. According to the arrest warrant that would come later, Brown got into it with a kid named Zulkarnain Kwambe Nantambu, someone who claimed that he knew AB since around 2022. Surveillance footage shows Antonio Brown throwing a
swapping hands
punch at Nantambu, and suddenly there's a full-on brawl with multiple people involved. Security breaks it up. At this point, it's just another parking lot fight. The warrant alleges that Brown grabbed a black firearm from the right hip area of a security officer named Eric Bauer. Multiple witnesses captured this on their phones. You can see AB on video advancing toward Nantambu on the...
Oh, bro, this ain't good. This ain't good, cuz, bro. So he got beat up, or he was so mad, you know what I'm saying, and the adrenaline was still in his head. They CTE kicking, blood pumping to his brain. It's really, you know what I'm saying, making the feeling even stronger. He grabbed the gun off the man's hip. He must have lost the fight, bro. Cause like, how you just going, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you beat him up, there's nothing more to prove. He must have got, you know what I'm saying, hit a few too many times. That joint rattled his brain a little more. The CTE starts CTEing even more. You know what I'm saying? To the point where my mans had to go and grab the strap that's not even yours? Come on, cuz. This ain't a good move, man. Obviously, well, not so obviously, because my cuz, he can't think straight no more after all them tackles, right? Yeah, hello?
Sidewalk, weapon in hand, and then... Oh, shit. The footage shows Brown
let that
within
joint
several
sing
feet of
twice.
Ntambu when he fires, with the victim literally ducking after the first shot. Police responded to shot spotter alerts and found 2 spent shell casing at the scene, plus an empty gun holster. Multiple witnesses in the parking lot identified Antonio Brown as the shooter. When officers detained
I mean, it's not exactly hard, is it? Right? Literally just look at the man who had the gun. And he's so recognizable as a person. Oh yeah, ain't that Antonio Brown? He's done for. That's bad, cuz. And why did it take them? Well, actually, I think they detained him that night. But why did it take him so long to be, you know what I'm saying, put on trial for this stuff? Like, why is it just now coming to light?
Brown at the scene, he didn't have the gun on him anymore and no victims were immediately identified. So they let him go that night, but the investigation was just getting started. So you would think Antonio Brown would do whatever he can to cover this up, right? But he might have done the exact opposite. The very next day, May 17th, Antonio Brown did what he always does. He went to social media. He posted on X, "I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me. Contrary to some videos circulating, police temporarily detained me until they received my side of the story and then released me. I went home that night and was not arrested," in all caps. He's claiming self-defense. He's claiming he was—
Yeah, like, bro. Well, is there multiple people in this little blur? I can't really tell, but it looked like just 1v1, bro. Straight hands and your ass got knocked. So then you got mad, you know?
victim of a
Is you lying or is you flying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Which one is it?
robbery attempt. He also went on Aiden Ross's live stream the next day and said this.
Yeah, I got CT. I blacked out. I didn't know what happened. Blacked out, dude. Blacked out, Aiden. I know what happened. I know.
Now, legally speaking,
Man, this sad, bro. Look, he walked in the room.
the next day and said this.
Yeah, I got CT.
Yeah, I got CT. I blacked out. He being dead serious. Look at everybody's reaction.
Blacked out. I didn't know what happened.
Come on, cuz. That ain't nothing to joke about. You know what I'm saying? From an outside point of view, we're just like, oh yeah, Antonio, you being you, right? Man, another day with this guy. Whole time he's really going through it. My cuz not laughing at all, bro. He really fighting demons to the point where he did what he did, allegedly, or you know what I'm saying? We seen the footage. I hate to incriminate you, gang, but it's not looking good. But that's bad, bro. I hate that everybody just laughed it off instead of trying to console this man and see what they could do to help.
Blacked out, dude. I blacked out, Aiden. I know what happened. I know.
Now, legally speaking, that's a terrible thing to admit. You just
Yeah, no
acknowledge
cap.
that you don't remember what happened during an incident where you're accused of attempted murder. That's not helping your case at all. For about a month, nothing happened publicly, but behind the scenes, Miami-Dade detectives were building their case. They collected the surveillance footage, the cell phone videos, witness statements, hospital records, the shell casing, the shot spotter data, everything. On June 11th, 2025, a Miami-Dade County judge signed an arrest warrant charging Antonio Brown with attempted second-degree murder with a firearm. The bond
Okay.
was set at just $10,000 with house arrest conditions.
The warrant obtained by the Washington Post called for Brown to post a $10,000 bond and remain under house arrest until trial. Okay.
Which honestly seems low for attempted murder, but here's the catch. Antonio Brown had to surrender himself, and he never did. Instead, according to Miami Police Chief Manny Morales, detectives believe Brown was in Dubai, and Brown's Instagram basically confirmed it. He was posting from the Middle East, living it up while wanted for attempted murder back home. 2 days after
See,
the
bro,
warrant was
like,
arrested,
bro, use your brain, man. You could have got, bro, I ain't even endorsing it. But clearly he's already been caught, right? So I can say what I want to say, right? Bro, if you're going to dip off to another country, don't post yourself. You mean? Because you just dropping a low. It's like when the ops looking for you and you just, you know what I'm saying, tell them right where you is. Obviously, if other people recognize you and then take photos and videos of you wherever you is, you can't really help that. But obviously, even then, you could like wear a disguise or something. You know how they be doing in the TV shows and stuff, the glasses and the mustache. You could do one of them, but like, why is you posting yourself just out freely living it up, my boy? That's bad. That's real bad. You just wanted to get caught, cuz. But then again, I forgot he had CTE. So he probably didn't even think, bro, you know?
he posted
Literally didn't think. You know what I'm saying?
a video of himself riding a bike in Dubai with the caption, #love from the Middle East. This man was literally
He even dropped, bro. Cause like from the surroundings, people might be able to look at it, you know what I'm saying, on some GeoGuessr stuff. But Cud literally said, oh yeah, I'm in the Middle East right now, y'all come forward with me. But it's your boy, like, bro.
Haunting authorities while he was on the run. Now, technically, according to the Miami Herald, his trip to Dubai started before the warrant was issued. So he technically wasn't on the run, but the fact that he stayed there for nearly 5 months after the warrant became public, yeah, that's just fleeing from justice. Not even rich sugar babies take 5-month trips to Dubai. The weird thing is, AB went mostly silent on social media after the warrant became public. He had been posting constantly before, like over 50 posts in the week before the warrant, and then
Jesus,
suddenly,
50?
nothing. That silence was deafening. It suggested that maybe, just maybe, someone convinced him to shut up and get legal representation.
At least he started moving with some IQ after. He still got enough sense to use, you know what I'm saying, intellect.
Which brings us to November 6th, 2025. Antonio Brown has been extradited from Dubai back to the United States by federal agents. United Arab Emirates authorities shipped him back to the States, and he arrived in Newark, New Jersey earlier on Thursday, accompanied by U.S. Marshals. Jail records show that he was booked into Essex County Jail in New Jersey, and he's being held there until they can transport him down to South Florida, where he'll be formally charged and booked into Miami-Dade County Jail. The Miami Police Department confirmed the extradition and released a statement saying this is just another example of the relentless work and dedication of Miami police detectives, working closely with
shout out to them, I guess,
Attorney's Office and U.S. Marshals to identify and arrest those who commit crimes in the city of Miami. After nearly 5 months of being essentially, I
don't like to praise the arrest of a man, but if the man did the crime, hey man, that's one less off the streets to make him safe. So hey, shout out that police county, you know what I'm saying?
In Dubai, AB is finally on U.S. soil and facing the music. Let's talk about what Antonio Brown is actually up against here. He's being charged with attempted second-degree murder with a firearm. In Florida, that carries a potential sentence of 15 to 30 years in prison. But it gets worse. Florida has these firearm enhancement laws that are brutal. Just possessing a firearm during a felony can add 10 years minimum to your sentence. Actually discharging that firearm, that's a 20-year mandatory minimum. There are also aggravating factors that could push his sentence higher. The shooting happened in a public place with lots of people around. A victim was actually injured. He allegedly fled the scene, and he's got prior criminal history with that 2020 felony battery conviction. Now, he could argue self-defense. His lawyer could say he was jumped in defending himself. They could challenge the witness identification or the video quality. They might try a mental health defense based on his CTE claims. But here's the problem. Prosecutors have multiple forms of evidence. They've got surveillance footage showing him punching Nantambu first, then taking the gun from security. They've got cell phone video of him advancing with the weapon and firing. They've got the shell casings and empty holster. They've got shot spotter data pinpointing the exact time of the shots. They've got the victim's hospital record, and they've got multiple witnesses who identified Brown as the shooter. That's a strong case. Like,
that's
really
bad.
Strong.
Now, usually, like, for example, when white people shoot up schools, right? Mass shootings inflicted by white people, they're able to plead insanity. My nigga got CTE. Can he plead for insanity? Cause like he said he don't even remember what happened, and it don't seem like Cuz was lying, cause like he don't got the brain capacity to lie no more. It's just not a thing, right? Obviously. So can he plead insanity, or is he getting that book thrown at him like 30 times? From the looks of it, he might just get the book thrown at him 30 times. Tough.
Be a plea deal? Maybe. They might offer him aggravated assault with a firearm instead, which would be 5 to 15 years, or assault with a deadly weapon for 2 to 10 years, or even reckless endangerment for 1 to 5 years. But given the strength of the evidence, prosecutors might not feel any pressure to offer a plea deal. And look, when you compare Antonio Brown to other NFL players who faced similar criminal charges, this is basically uncharted territory. Let's take a look at some examples. Aaron Hernandez was convicted of first-degree
I remember this nigga.
2015, sentenced to life without parole, and he ended up taking his own life in prison in 2017. We have a separate video on Ray Caruth, who conspired to murder his pregnant girlfriend in 1999, served 18 years before being released in 2018. Brandon Browner is probably the most similar case to Brown's. He was sentenced to 8 years for attempted murder of his ex-girlfriend in a 2018 home invasion. And of course, the famous Ray Lewis case, one of our most popular videos videos on this YouTube channel. Lewis faced double murder charges back in 2000, but he plea bargained down to obstruction of justice and got 1-year probation. He was able to continue his Hall of Fame career, but Ray was 25 at the time and in his prime. AB is 37 and hasn't played in almost 4 years. The key difference is most players who came back from serious charges were young and still had NFL value. Antonio Brown's career was already over before these charges even happened. That mid-game exit in Tampa was his last play in the NFL. Even if he somehow avoids prison, we all know there's no comeback at this point. Now, I want to talk about CTE for a second because there's this whole conversation happening around Antonio Brown and CTE, the brain disease caused by repeated head trauma, and AB himself has repeatedly brought it up. Like when he said, I got CTE, I blacked out on Aiden Ross's stream.
Yeah, I got CTE, I blacked out. I ain't know what.
We have a video covering Antonio Brown's entire career, how he behaved before the hits and his interviews after, comparing them. It's one of the older videos on this channel. CTE is real. It's serious.
Yeah.
Brown played football at a high level for over a decade, taking countless hits to the head.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Famous Vontaze perfect hit. Could that explain some of his erratic behavior? Maybe. Could it be used as a legal defense? His lawyers might try. But here's the
they definitely will.
Lots of former NFL players have CTE or brain trauma, and they're not out here shooting at people in parking lots. The disease doesn't excuse violence. It might explain impulsivity or poor decision making, but prosecutors aren't going to just let someone walk on attempted murder charges just because they claim brain damage. Plus, AB's own statements hurt.
I mean, shit, they let niggas do it for pleading insanity. Why can't we keep the same shit now? You know what I'm saying?
His defense. He admitted to blacking out, which means he's acknowledging that he doesn't remember his actions. That could actually work against him in court because it removes the possibility of claiming justified self-defense. If you don't remember what happened, how could you argue you were reasonably defending yourself? The mental health and CTE conversation is important for understanding Antonio Brown's overall decline, but it's probably not going to save him in court. So where do we go from here? Antonio Brown is currently in Essex County Jail in New Jersey. He'll be extradited down to Miami-Dade County in the coming days, where he'll be formally arraigned on the attempted murder charge. He can post the $10,000 bond and be released on house arrest while awaiting trial, or he can stay in jail if he can't make bail. Given his bankruptcy situation, even $10,000 might be tough. Once he's out, he'll need to find serious legal representation, not social media lawyers or guys who'll just hype him.
Damn, bro, does my nigga got any money left for that? You know that nigga David? Yeah, he must have had Jesus as his lawyer, because that nigga ready to get off with that shit. But AB, does he have that type of money to afford the same luxury, bro? I don't even know. My man was in Dubai. That's not my man. Let me stop. That's just the way I talk, you feel me? But bro was in Dubai, so I think he got something, you know what I'm saying? But I think you can make your money stretch a lot longer. Yeah, American dollar stretch for a lot longer out there, so that might not be a clear indicator of any wealth. But if not, bro, that's bad. That's bad, gang. You might just, you know what I'm saying, hold it down in the jail. And then when your trial come, you might just have a social media judge or a social media lawyer just defend you. And then you cook, bro. That might be tough. He might try to get up there and defend himself. Shoot. Man, oh man, it's not looking too good.
He needs a top-tier Florida criminal defense attorney who specializes in violent felonies. That's expensive, really expensive. The case will probably take months to go to trial, maybe even longer. Prosecutors will present all their evidence, the videos, the witnesses, the physical evidence, the victim testimony.
I will say that has to be the worst thing. Just sitting in limbo. You commit a crime. It takes months to even years for your actual trial to happen, bro. Just sitting in limbo like that. Not knowing your fate gotta be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Even if you on house arrest, but bro, imagine going into the jail cell and being in prison for that long, bro, and you not even convicted yet. That gotta drive a nigga insane. It just has to, bro. I don't wish that on my worst enemy, bro.
Brown's defense will try to poke holes in it, argue self-defense, maybe even bring up the CTE stuff. The best case scenario for AB is a plea deal for a lesser charge. Maybe he serves a few years, gets out while he's still in his early 40s. Worst case is he's convicted on the attempted murder charge with firearm enhancement, looking at potentially 20 to 30 years. At
that's tough, bro.
Years old, that's practically a life sentence.
Deadass.
Let's zoom out for a second. Antonio Brown's story is about more than just legal charges. It's about the complete and total collapse of one of the most talented players in NFL history.
It's tough,
Think about
bro.
the trajectory. 6th round pick from Central Michigan who becomes a 7-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first team All-Pro, catches touchdown passes from Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, should be a first ballot Hall of Famer based purely on his on-field production during his peak years. And now he's wanted for attempted murder, extradited from Dubai, facing decades in prison, bankrupt. No team will ever touch him again, and his reputation is completely destroyed. The fall happened gradually, then all at once. The social media antics started as funny quirks, then they became concerning. The legal issues started as misdemeanors, then they escalated. The financial problems started as a few deaths, then bankruptcy. The erratic behavior started as diva moments, then it became a mid-game walkout, then a shooting. This is what a complete unraveling looks like. Not a single moment where everything breaks, but a steady accumulation of bad decisions, burned bridges, ignored warnings, and escalating consequences until there's nothing left. And you have to wonder, could anyone have stopped this? Did the Steelers enable him too long because he was productive? Did Tom Brady and the Bucs give him a second chance without proper support systems? Did the NFL fail to address his mental health issues when they were obvious? Did his friends and family try to intervene? Or was this always going to end this way, regardless of what anyone did? Was Antonio Brown always destined to self-destruct, and was it just a matter of when and how? Look, I don't know what's gonna happen in court. Maybe the jury sees reasonable doubt. Maybe there's a plea deal we're not seeing coming. Maybe his lawyers find some angle we haven't thought of. But what I do know is this: Antonio Brown's story is over. Not the legal case, that'll drag on for months. I mean his story as an NFL player, as a celebrity, as someone with a future in football. That's done.
I mean, bro, he hasn't played in 4 years, right? That's crazy. I thought he would have been, you know what I'm saying, like completely gone from that by now. It's kind of like Colin Kaepernick. Like, he had no chance of coming back. Nobody wanted to take the chance on him. I didn't know people were still looking for Antonio Brown. That's wild, bro. But yeah, this is definitely a sad case, man. Very sad case.
Who made it from Central Michigan to the Super Bowl, who caught passes from Big Ben and Tom Brady, who was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. That story ended years ago. We're just watching the tragic epilogue now. Today's extradition is just the latest chapter in a fall that's been happening in slow motion for half a decade. From all-pro to attempted murder suspect, from $80 million to bankruptcy, from Super Bowl champion to international fugitive to county jail. This is how legends fall, not in glory, but in handcuffs. Antonio Brown is finally back in America, and his day of reckoning has arrived. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below.
This is tough, bro.
I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.
Hey, man. WVid, nigga. W video, bro. Appreciate the update. Appreciate the news. This is a sad case, bro. Was it the mental health that caused him to do this? Enhanced by the CTE? If that is the case, that's very sad, bro. It's very sad. That being said, this is a good chance for me to, you know what I'm saying, drop a little bit of game. We shouldn't allow our emotions to dictate our actions when it's not logical to do so, right? You may feel an emotion, you may feel inclined to act in a certain way, but take a step back, really think about it. Think about the consequences, the positive and negatives of doing what you're about to do. You know what I'm saying? And choose the right decision. It's that simple. No matter how you feel, you can always make the right decision. It might be hard. Trust me. I know. But it's always possible to make the right decision. Indeed. It didn't look like Antonio Brown was afforded that luxury. Maybe he was self-destructive. Maybe he did it on his own. Maybe no one checked up on him. Maybe his mental health was just that bad. Maybe it was the CTE all on its own. Whatever it may be, bro, I pray that, you know what I'm saying, his mindset gets better, his mental health gets better. But if he did the crime, you got to do the time. And we'll leave it at that until further update. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like it, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Love y'all. Peace.